Hello everyone, this is your friend Shinobi Nexus 2.0 and we are back in new fanfic. What if Kakashi reincarnated after Minato's death and had 17 years to become the strongest? Part 3. Sure enough, this Ryuga is smart. Kakashi thought that the mission rank was high, and now it seems that it is actually low. What about the information from your spy? How many people have come over this time? Kakashi asked. 2 Jonin and 5 Chunin. Kakashi is actually startled hearing this, but his expression is not changing. When he saw the expression of Kakashi, Ryuga couldn't help but be a little surprised. He didn't expect Kakashi to have such composure at this age. He doesn't know if it is because Kakashi have confidence to deal with these people or not. 2 Jonin and 5 Chunin. It is clear that Ochagakure has dispatched more than half of their combat power. It seems that this Ochagakure is not coming here for just the rare metal, but they obviously also know the existence of Ryuga. Your spy is a Chunin. Yes, it's one of the 5 Chunins. He is a confidant that I secretly cultivated. I didn't expect it to come in handy now. You are Shinobi from Ochagakure? Kakashi asked again, seems convinced in his analysis. Ryuzukiyama looks shocked and said, how do you know? If Shinobi village gets Shinobi from the outside of the village, those Shinobi will be subjected to a very strict assessment. Even if they pass the assessment, they won't be sent to do important or secret mission. Now it is extremely important mission to have 2 Jonin doing it. So this Chunin can't be a Shinobi from the outside of the village, and he must be someone born from there. And to cultivate such person into a confidant, it can only be done from inside Ochagakure. Therefore, you must be a Shinobi from Ochagakure. Looking at your current situation, there are some hatreds with Ochagakure, presumably you should rebel from Ochagakure. It seems that you are internal problems before. And I have observed your strength, you should have Jonin level strength. So you must be one of the pillars of Ochagakure. If you, who are a pillar of Ochagakure, were rebelling, there must be some kind of clashing ideology. It seems that other Jonin oppresses you. If it is not the ideology, with your temper, you should not cause hatred. It seems that the other Jonin is united to persecute you, even tries to chase you out. Even then, you won't be trying to take revenge against them. Sure enough, did your important people killed by them? Hearing all of Kakashi's analysis, Ryuga can't help but feel some cold sweat. At this time, Ryuga is so shocked while looking at Kakashi. With just a word and a little clue, he was guessed by Kakashi. That was really terrifying. Looking at your expression, I should have guessed it right. In this kind of Woolard, there is always this kind of hatred. Kakashi sighed and got a deeper understanding of this world. Ryuga took a deep breath and then said, Kakashi-san, you really deserve to be called a genius. Yes, you are correct. I was once one of the Ochagakure's Jonin. Not long ago, the other 2 Jonin united to try killing me because of something, but fortunately I found out about that in time and escaped. But my wife and children were killed by these 2 people. This kind of hatred, I can't let it go. I must get revenge against them. But their strength is similar to me. I can't beat the 2 of them at the same time, so I made the decision to create a mission to ask for help from Konoha's shinobi. I understand, this is your grudge, and it is also the grudge of your Ochagakure. I will not get involved. If the Kakashi does not help, then Ryuga knows that he won't succeed. Kakashi-san, please, if I successfully take my revenge, I will help you in the future. Ryuga throws out his final chips. After all, except for this, there is nothing else Ryuga can do. Kakashi looked at the eyes of Ryuga, and finally said faintly, my mission is to protect the owners of the caravan and the goods. If there is shinobi coming to kill them, I will stop it. Kakashi finished, and after that he jumps into another cart. Ryuzukiyama then shows happy expression after hearing Kakashi seems to be agreeing about this. With the excitement of the heart, Ryuga then leave and did the final preparation. I have used my Sharingan to see that his chakra has no abnormal changes, to make sure he doesn't lie. I really don't want to help, but a Jonin's allegiance is a good condition. And if both of the enemy Jonin is dead, then Ochagakure will still have a lot of genin to cultivate. Maybe a few years later, the village strength will be stronger. Kakashi muttered to himself. His voice is very small, except Kakashi himself, no one else could hear it, and Kakashi finalizes his plan. This is a world of shinobi. In addition to its own strength, it is also necessary to have a formidable force. In Konoha, he can only start a friendship, and it is not appropriate to make his own force. At least for now, Kakashi does not have the strength to do this. Therefore, Kakashi can only do this kind of thing outside Konoha. Original Kakashi didn't want to find some force this so early, but now that someone is actually finding Kakashi himself, naturally Kakashi will accept this. After all, this time, Kakashi is the one who is at advantage. Otherwise, Kakashi can choose to leave when he knows the truth. After all, the client has falsely reports the mission content, so they can invalidate this mission. Kakashi will not be blamed if he abandons this mission. But on the one hand, Kakashi didn't want to give up the opportunity to train. Kakashi also had a good impression of Ryuga, so he was happy to help him. So, the next thing to do is to prepare for the battle. Kakashi sat silently on the cart, moving his chakra around his body and restore his state to the most peak moment. The caravan slowly entered the woods, and it is quiet right now. There are only sound from the bird and the insect. Kakashi widened his eye and shouted, "Everyone stop. Be careful, there is an ambush." The caravan's people hearing this immediately stopped. The atmosphere is heavy. They understand they are now in dangerous situation. Such an obvious killing intent, even if it is a genin who is here, they would be able to detect this. Let alone a genius like Kakashi. However, the opposite side did not seem to try to hide their figure, and came out directly from a big tree. 2 Jonin and 5 Chunin formed an encirclement to surround the caravan. Who is that little devil? His perception is very sharp. Ryuga, where did you find this helper of yours? At this time, Kakashi did not wear his Konoha's headband in order to not reveal his identity. So that these ambush shinobi did not recognize Kakashi's identity. Kenji, you bastard actually dare to appear now. Ryuga looked at the man who had just spoken with a very angry look. It was the anger that burned inside his eyes. Hey Ryuga, are you angry? Is there anything that makes you so angry? When I killed your wife and children, they were not angry. They welcomed me happily when I come to your house. And then I happily sent them to hell. Kenji is laughing loudly while saying that. It seems that what he says just now is something extremely funny. Ryuga is clenching his fist and gritting his teeth. He is obviously very angry right now. And Kakashi coldly look at this guy. This kind of scum shouldn't have been allowed to live. Kakashi has already decides to kill this Jonin called Kenji. Well Kenji, stop talking with him and let's finish this quickly. One person who is standing next to Kenji also spoke at this time. Yamazaki, what are you worried about? Now that Ryuga is alone, what are you afraid of? With you and me working together, we will be able to kill him easily. Yamazaki hearing this just shrugged and said, you are right. Ryuga, now that you are going to die, you can say a few words if you want. After all, there will be no chance in the future. Kenji said as he looked at the angry Ryuga. Ryuga, do you think if you hide by using some caravan, we won't know your trace? Ha ha ha, you're really naive. Kenji then said while laughing loudly. He is very happy and excited after seeing Ryuga's angry look. Kenji, Yamazaki, we grew up together in Ochagakure, and even form a team. Why do you want to kill me? Ryuga screamed asking something he never understands. The relationship between the three of them can be said to be very good, their talent is also very similar, and the time when they become Jonin is not that different. They have been supporting each other, and their friendship is very good, but what he did not expect is that a month ago, the two suddenly started to attack Ryuga. Under the shock of the betrayal, he could only rush to escape. When he got home, he found out that his wife and children had been poisoned to death. For a time, even Ryuga, who had always had a good temper, became really angry. However, Ryuga, who has always been calm, still understood his situation. He did not immediately seek revenge for the two men. Instead, he left Ochagakure and started to plans for his revenge. Yamazaki thought that Ryuga was afraid that he starts to escape to Land of Wind. They didn't know that it is all Ryuga plans to have revenge against them. The Chunin brought today is also the confidant of Kenji and Yamazaki. Of course, the two will not think that one of them is actually the confidant of Ryuga. After all, Ryuga's previous relationship with this Chunin was not very friendly, and at most they just nod when they met. It's only Ryuga had saved this Chunin life, so this Chunin chose to be loyal to Ryuga. However, at that time, Ryuga did not think about robbing his friends of his confidant, so he chose not to accept him. But this Chunin is still very loyal to Ryuga. When Ryuga contacted him at that time, he agreed without saying anything. One of the reasons is because he doesn't like how Kenji and Yamazaki do things. He believes it is better to choose gentler master like Ryuga. This also made Ryuga very moved. Sure enough, there are a lot of types of people. Some people are eyeing even their closed friends. And there are some people who understand gratitude. Seeing that Ryuga does not understand what happened, the two men laughed heartily. Ha ha ha, Ryuga, you are really stupid and cute. From beginning to end, we have not regarded you as a friend. Didn't you find that every time there is any dangerous mission, you're the one who always take the lead? Ryuga instantly understand, and the bits and pieces of the past were all connected at this moment. No wonder that every time they come back from a mission, his injury is always worse than the two of them. No wonder his mission rewards is always the least. No wonder that every time they gather, they both come together. He finally understood the doubt in his past. Why didn't you continue to lie to me? Ryusaki asked angrily. Yes, as long as they continue to lie to him, maybe his wife and children will not die. Why? It's very simple, because you got a scroll of secret, but you don't want to tell us about it, so we have to kill you and grab it. Scroll of secret. Ryuga showed a confused expression. Don't try to fool us. It is when we went to the ancient ruins last time, you got the scroll from it, right? The scroll is blank, you already saw it, didn't you? Ryuga said inexplicably. We saw it, but how could the scroll in the ancient ruins is blank? You must remember it yourself, and then erase the real content, so that we won't know, right? Kenji indignantly said that, as it was obvious that he is very dissatisfied with Ryuga's action. What do you mean I hide the content? You just kill my family for this boring guess. Ryuga said incredulously. He can't believe how these two who he regards as his best friends would kill him because of this kind of thing. Haha, you don't need pretend anymore, just give us the scroll, and hand over the secrets. If you do that, we will give you a whole body. Otherwise, I am afraid you will die without a burial site. Kenji then seems to start feeling bored and tell Ryuga to give them the secrets. Ryuga, hearing this, is not angry or sad, he just laughed heartily, so that the people present are somewhat confused. Ha ha ha, well, I finally understand it today. Ryuga, am really a fool. I have been cheated for so many years without knowing. If this is the case, there is nothing more to say. Today, it's either all of you or me who will die here. After Ryuga finished talking, he then prepares to fight against them. Kakashi jumped to the side of Ryuga and whispered, Ryuga, you are responsible for dealing with those Chunin. I will be dealing with those two Jonin. After you have finished dealing those Chunins, come over and help me. Kakashi-san, won't you have some trouble then? Those two guys are not weak. Ryuga asked with some worries. As a teammate of Kenji and Yamazaki, Ryuga still knows very well about their strength, but he still doesn't know anything about Kakashi's strength, so he doesn't know if Kakashi can block the two of them at once. Don't worry, it is no problem. You should be prepared to fight. Seeing Kakashi's self-confidence, Ryuga did not say anything, and made up his mind to finish dealing those chunin faster so that he can help Kakashi. One of the reasons Kakashi wants to deal with these two Jonin, he wants to see what level he is now. Another reason is because Kakashi doesn't know which one is spy among the chunin, he is afraid of causing accidental injury. Kakashi's then looked at Kenji and Yamazaki. His right eye looks serious. After all, he knows that these two Jonin is not weak. Touching his left eye, the four symbols seal still perfectly sealed his Sharingan, and Kakashi did not plan to use Sharingan this time. His previous opponents were too strong, and Kakashi had no choice but to unlock the seal and used Sharingan. But this time, although Kakashi feels that his opponent is not weak, but they are still far from the extent of Orochimaru, so right now he chooses to not use his Sharingan to see how he can cope against this opponent. The sword technique, the unpredictable ninjutsu application, and the fast shunpo. Adding these three together, Kakashi doesn't believe that he can't beat these two Jonin in front of him. The right hand is gently held on the Millennium handle, ready to move anytime. Kenji and Yamazaki, after seeing that Ryuga actually deals with those chunin, while he let the 14-year-old little devil to block the two of them, are feeling angry. Ryuga, you coward, you actually don't dare to fight with us, and let such a little devil deal with us. Kenji then starts to taunt. It is obvious that he disdained to Ryuga's approach, and at his side, Yamazaki is holding the same idea as him. However, Ryuga did not pay any attention to him at this time. After all, he needs to face 5 chunin, although one was his own spy, he can't lose focus. The battle between shinobi is hard, he can't lose focus or he will be the one who is defeated. Kenji and Yamazaki saw that Ryuga did not try to argue with him, they felt uninterested, so they start to look at Kakashi. Little devil, let's just say that your luck is not good that you need to be fighting both us. You do not have to expect Ryuga to solve the people over there to help you, because before that happens, you will already die. Kakashi, hearing this, just chuckled, and then he pulled out the millennium at his waist and said softly, "Oh, I actually didn't expect Ryuga-san to come over and help me, because I will already solve you two before that." Kenji and Yamazaki are furious hearing this. Little devil. Good words. Kenji angrily said, apparently angered by Kakashi's words. Yamazaki's expression is also not good, and his face is very unsightly. You're courting dead. They were underestimated. Kakashi sneered, in this world there is always someone who is easy to provoke. Shunpo. Kakashi then started by using Shunpo, which he had learned from Mifune, to move instantly to their location. Kakashi is more and more fond of this move. After all, this technique doesn't need chakra and its speed is very fast. It is very useful to start a sneak attack. Kenji still has Jonin's strength. Even if Kakashi's speed is fast, he is still able reacts, but his reaction is not fast enough. The Millennium Sword then slash Kenji's chest and there are sound of a blade hitting flesh. Then there is some splash of blood, and Kenji's chest was cut by Kakashi, but the wound is not deep. At the last moment, he manages to dodge this fatal blow and move to the side. Kakashi licked the blood on the Millennium, and his expression shows some pity. After all, if he was able to move faster, Kenji will be already dead. What a awful little devil. Kenji is pressing the big wound on his chest while roaring. Obviously this attack did not damage him too much, but it was able to make him feel scared. He was a Jonin, and he was almost dead after being attacked by this little devil. He feels some boiling anger rose inside him. Kakashi ignored Kenji's anger. After all, A shinobi can't lose their calm. The moment they lose their calm, they will be dead. Yamazaki jumped to the side of Kenji and asked, Kenji, are you okay? It's okay, it's just a small wound. This awful little devil, his speed is not slow, but we just have to pay attention to it and we will be fine. Kenji then got up. The wound in the chest was not deep, so he temporarily stopped the bleeding by using chakra, which did not hinder his combat power. Kakashi didn't say anything. He is still holding the millennium and didn't lose focus. This time he doesn't seem to have any intention to attack. This little devil, you are actually doesn't use such a good chance, but then you won't have such a good luck anymore. Kenji is still so angry, but Kakashi simply ignored him. Kenji then starts getting angrier than before. Yamazaki, you wait here. I will kill this little devil myself. Kenji, are you able to do it? Yamazaki is a little skeptical after seeing the action of Kakashi. Yamazaki now have a new understanding of this young man. This young man's strength is not weak, he also has a calmness that is not consistent with his age. He is definitely not a normal little devil. At least Yamazaki admitted that he was not this calm when he is at Kakashi's age. Seeing Yamazaki doubting him, Kenji is becoming even angrier. What do you mean? Just give me a minute to finish this. After Kenji finished talking, he didn't wait for the Yamazaki to talk again and immediately moved to punch at Kakashi. Yamazaki is too late to stop him, so he is just looking at them now. Although Kakashi is not a simple kid, Yamazaki does not feel that Kakashi can really win against Kenji. After all, Kakashi is still young, and he shouldn't have Jonin's strength. It's just that Yamazaki have forgotten that there is a kind of person in world that cannot be inferred with common sense, and this kind of person is genius. Seeing Kenji attacks him, Kakashi didn't panic. His taijutsu is not that good. So Kakashi then start to calmly fight against him. The two then start to clash. Kenji's taijutsu is very good, but it is just for the shinobi of the small village. Against Kakashi, it is good enough. The two still clashing for a while and then Kakashi see a flaw and kicked Kenji in the chest. Boom. Kenji then start to bounced off. Yamazaki saw this and immediately rushed to catch Kenji, who is bounced at the back. 1 minute has passed. Kakashi's faint word sounded, and it was particularly harsh and heard by Kenji and Yamazaki. Awful little devil. Kenji then screamed with anger. He is obviously angry after hearing Kakashi's words, but this time Kenji did not rush up again. From the fight just now, he knew that the boy in front of him is not an ordinary kid. Damn, where did Ryuga be able to find such a helper? Kenji groaned. Kenji, don't be impulsive, this little devil doesn't look isn't an ordinary person. Let's fight him together, we can't fail this mission. I get it. Kenji coldly snorted, but he doesn't refute Yamazaki. Although Kenji feels that he can win against this little devil, he knows that they still have to defeat him faster. Otherwise, if Ryuga finish dealing with those Chunin, things will become more troublesome. Moreover, those Chunin are also their strength, he is not willing to just let them die. After all, the village still needs to be guarded by some peoples, just by relying on the two of them is too much. Seeing that these two finally got serious, Kakashi also decided finally get serious too. After all, Kakashi's strongest power is not his taijutsu, nor is his sword technique, but it is his ninjutsu. His nickname as the copy ninja is not an empty name. Even thought there are not thousands of ninjutsu as copied, but at least there are more than 100. But no one will practice so many ninjutsu. After all, it is not easy to master ninjutsu. Even Sandaime Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi, who is known as the professor, doesn't dare to say that he is proficient in all ninjutsu. These ninjutsu can be used as a trick, but not as a power to defeat the enemy. After all, people's energy is limited, even if it is a genius like Namikaze Minato and Uchiha Itachi, they still use commonly used ninjutsu. It is not about the amount of the ninjutsu, but the way to use them. There are no invincible moves, only invincible people. Kakashi has the same idea, and the ninjutsu which is most valued by Kakashi is his own original ninjutsu, Chidori. There are a lot of ninjutsu derived from Chidori. Sasuke in original work has developed a series of ninjutsu based on Chidori, and even there is also Kirin, which is known as the strongest lightning-style ninjutsu. As his inventor, Kakashi has developed one of Chidori-based technique, but that is not enough. Although Reikiri is a S-rank ninjutsu, Kakashi knows that it is still not strong enough. And compared to Rasen Shuriken, which is also a S-rank ninjutsu, Reikiri is a lot weaker. After all, Reikiri can only take one of Kakuzu's heart, while Rasen Shuriken is able to kill Kakuzu even if he still has 3 hearts. Thinking about the terrifying power of the Rasen Shuriken, Kakashi knows that Reikiri is not enough. Maybe Kamui is good enough, but he can't just use it casually. After thinking about this, Kakashi knew that his path was still very long. He still needs to make many efforts compared to the 2 of his students in the future. He then sheathed the millennium that is in his hand, and start to control his flow of chakra. Kenji and Yamazaki then start by making some hand seals in the said Earth Style, Earth Bullet, Fire Style, Great Fireball. The 2 grew up together, and the cooperation between 2 of them is good. At this time, their ninjutsu are launched at the same time. It is quite lethal skill. Am I in a pinch? Kakashi muttered to himself. In the next second, the stone bullet is coming closer and directly hit Kakashi's body. The flame also starts to burn Kakashi's body. Kakashi didn't even have a scream, and he was burned to an ash by the flame. Ha ha ha, I thought he was a great character. I didn't expect him to die that easily. Now I am afraid that even his ashes remain. Kenji then said while laughing loudly, and the anger he feels completely disappears. Kenji, something's wrong. Yamazaki did not think that it was this easy and he knows there is something's wrong. Well, what's wrong? Look at that. Kenji is looking in the direction Yamazaki pointed at. He saw that there is Kakashi is now becomes a wood. Kawarimi no Jutsu. How come? Kenji was shocked. He didn't see Kakashi making any hand seal at all. How did he use Kawarimi no Jutsu then? You are even not able to recognize Kawarimi no Jutsu. It's really a miracle that you can be Jonin. Kakashi's voice is heard from behind the 2, and both were shocked and quickly move away. Unfortunately, they are greeted by Kakashi's ninjutsu. Ninjutsu is like this. Then he starts making hand seals. Fire Style. Great Fireball. The same Great Fireball technique, but in the hands of Kakashi, it is obviously more powerful than the one Kenji had use. The hot temperature makes the surrounding air a bit dry. The power of ninjutsu has a lot to do with the purity of chakra. The same ninjutsu is different if used by different people. This is the reason. Kakashi's chakra purity is obviously much higher than these 2. After all, Kakashi is a character that is called a genius. In the face of the mighty fireball, Kenji snorted. Damn, how can it have such terrifying power? Earth Style. Earth Style Wall. After seeing this, Yamazaki start to use this defense ninjutsu. A stone wall rises quickly from the ground and blocks Kakashi's great fireball directly. Good job, Yamazaki. Seeing that the stone wall blocked the terrifying fireball, Kenji could not help but be overjoyed. However, Yamazaki does not have the mood to answer Kenji. That ninjutsu power is really terrifying. He knows the little devil in front of him must be at least have the strength of Jonin. Kakashi obviously didn't expect his attack to be blocked. It seems that Kenji should be a fire release type shinobi, and Yamazaki is an earth release type shinobi. Of course, it is unknown whether the 2 of them have more than one type of element. After all, they are a Jonin, it is not impossible for them master 2 kinds of nature transformation. For fire release, there is no water here, so it is hard to counter it. In the case of Earth Release, Kakashi's lightning style ninjutsu is a direct counter for those. The corner of his mouth then starts to rise. It's really interesting. Kenji, let's get more serious now. This little devil is very strong, maybe even stronger than both of us. Yamazaki said seriously. Okay, I understand. Kenji is not stupid. After 2 brief fights, he no longer underestimates Kakashi. Kenji, use that trick. What? Are you sure? Kenji was obviously a little surprised. Don't hesitate, we need to finish it fast. I don't know how the situation is going, but we can't waste any more time. When Kenji thought about it, he knows what Yamazaki said is very reasonable, so he said, okay. Seeing what the two seemed to be discussing, Kakashi did not bother them. Kakashi is still very interested in the trick that the two said. These two people already figure out that they are weaker than Kakashi, but they still didn't worry about this setback. So now Kakashi is curious about what trick they will do. Suddenly, those two start to move together. There is 4-hand attacking Kakashi at the same time. Even if he was a Jonin, he still only got 2 hands. But after a while, Kenji retreat a step from the battle. Kakashi seems to be aware, but it is impossible to move away from Yamazaki. Yamazaki, I am ready. Kenji yelled. After Yamazaki hearing this, suddenly there is a sword that appears in his hand, then he moves as he slashed towards Kakashi. Kakashi quickly unsheathed his Millennium Sword and blocked Yamazaki's sword. Die you brat! Kenji roared. Fire style. Fire dragon bullet. After that Yamazaki starts to retreat while making hand seals. Wind style. Great breakthrough. Kakashi's pupil shrank after seeing this. They actually use a combination jutsu. Fire style. Big fire dragon breakthrough. The terrifying fire dragon was approaching Kakashi, and the hot temperature made Kakashi feel that his hair was burnt. Their ninjutsu, which has 2 different attributes, will be able to merges with each other, and their ninjutsu power will increase to be almost equal to S-rank ninjutsu. Kakashi didn't think that the two would use the combination jutsu, knowing that this skill needs a full understanding between the two users. Ninjutsu merges with each other and its power is multiplied. At this time, the hot fire dragon is already in front of him, and he can't dodge it. If so, then he doesn't need to dodge. Kakashi is not flustered, he actually feels exited. Isn't it a S-rank ninjutsu? He can just fight it head on. Then his hands start to move very fast, and soon blue lighting once again appeared in Kakashi's right hand, but this time there is no loud sound like Chidori, there are just a soft lighting sound. Reikiri. The S-rank ninjutsu, an upgraded version of Chidori, but it is more powerful than Chidori. What is that jutsu? Why it has such a strong chakra? It's a terrifying jutsu. Yamazaki also looked shocked. Kakashi didn't have the time to see their shock, after all, the fire dragon is already in front of him. Then he stabs his hand that is covered in lighting to the fire dragon. Reikiri. Then there is some blue light coming from the lighting that looks like a sharp blade. The fire dragon is like a piece of tofu in front of Reikiri, and it is instantly cut by Reikiri. Ah! Kakashi screamed and his body moved forward. Kenji and Yamazaki saw a silver white-haired figure, holding the lighting and running toward the fire dragon from the beginning to the end. The fire dragon then is cut in half and seems to be opening the way for Kakashi. In the end, the fire dragon disappears like it never seemed to appear before, and the blue lighting in Kakashi's hands has disappeared too. Kakashi stood straightly and feels that his right hand is tired now. After all, the power of the fire dragon was not small, even if it was cut by Reikiri, it also made Kakashi's right hand a little tired. Seeing Kakashi is safe and sound, Kenji and Yamazaki are shocked. After all, that fire dragon was their trump card, now it was so easily defeated by Kakashi. And it was cut like a piece of tofu by him. What a terrifying power. Kenji and Yamazaki glanced at each other, and they all saw the fear in their eyes. They could not help but swallow their saliva and said, Who are you? Cried Kenji fearfully. Kakashi chuckled but didn't speak, he just walked slowly towards the two. It seems that these two people are already in poor condition, and in this case, the fight will soon end. Silver white hair. Closing one of his eye, using blue lighting ninjutsu, you are actually Kakashi of the Sharingan from Konoha. Yamazaki finally remembered Kakashi's identity and shouted. Kakashi stopped and was surprised after hearing Yamazaki. I didn't expect you to know my name, but it seems to be too late. It's really too late. If Kenji and Yamazaki know his identity from the beginning, maybe they don't want to fight him and just retreat right away, and they won't get to this situation right now. You are a Konoha's shinobi, you can't kill us. Kenji then seems to remember something and quickly said that. Haha, why not? As the person who hinders my mission, I have the right to kill you all, the shinobi's world is just like this. You should have known. Kakashi sneered, and he was a bit amused hearing what Kenji said. The two are silent, they know what Kakashi said is true. When they start to become shinobi, their life can be easily end at any time. That is the case, then goodbye. Kakashi whispered, the two people then looked shocked, but they can't do anything. Chidori. The millennium in Kakashi's hands is wrapped in lighting, and the blade is instantly extended by more than 5 meters. Erg. Two screams rang, and the blue blade then cut through both Kenji and Yamazaki's body. Both of them had a hint of unwillingness in their eyes. They did not expect to die just like that. The emotion of remorse spread in the hearts of two people. The wound in their chest had the sound of electric current. The light in the eyes gradually disappeared. The two of them couldn't wait say any more word, and they stopped breathing forever. Kakashi stopped his chakra and the blue light disappeared. Look at the two bodies in front of him, Kakashi was a bit disgusted for once. In a sense, this is the first time Kakashi has killed a person, and it is inevitable that he is uncomfortable about it. But fortunately, the original Kakashi's hands have been covered with blood, so Kakashi quickly adapted to this. Originally he wants to burn these two bodies directly a fire release, but he still thinks about it. In the end, they are the people of Ochagakure, it is better to let Ryuga solve it himself. Kakashi then looked up. When the battle started, they actually move away from the other battlefield. So now he needs to know the situation at the other side. Perceiving the surrounding environment and determined that no one was hiding nearby, Kakashi then moved to the battlefield where Ryuga is right now. At this time, the battlefield of Ryuga is still not ending. The original 5 Chunin now only had 3 people left. Ryuga and one of Chunin stood together. He seems to be the Ryuga's spy. Soon after the two sides clash, the spy directly took the opportunity to kill a Chunin, and Rugasaki also killed one person. Then it formed the situation of today. Bastard. You are a traitor. You actually dared to betray Kenji and Yamazaki. A Chunin shouted, apparently very angry. And naturally the one he is talking to is the spy Chunin. Hey. With Kenji and Yamazaki's lead, Ochagakure will be destroyed sooner or later by those two idiots. Shameless traitor. You really shamelessly talk about them. Die. Chunin was furious, apparently wanting to jump and then kill the spy. Calm down a little, the current situation is not good for us, we need to retreat to Kenji and Yamazaki location, otherwise it will be dangerous. Another Chunin said calmly. Okay. I understand. Even when the Chunin was angry he is not stupid enough and soon understands their situation. Haha, if you want to leave, I am afraid it is not that simple. Ryuga said as he blocks the two of them. You don't have to go anymore. Those two are already dead. It is no use to go there now. Kakashi's faint voice then heard in their ears. Seeing that Kakashi appeared, everyone present couldn't help but startled. It has only passed 5 minutes since the beginning of the battle. Did this silver white-haired teenager escape from the attack of those two people? Impossible. If he escaped, how could he be here now and not run away? So, is this boy is really saying the truth? Are Kenji and Yamazaki really killed by this boy? Brat, what are you talking about? There is no way Yamazaki-sama and Kenji-sama is dead. Kakashi sneered and said, "It's okay even if you don't believe it, you can just go now to see their dead body." After Kakashi finished, he walked to the side of Ryuga and said, "Ryuga-san, I have already killed those two. Now you can deal with the rest." "Kakashi-san, are you really telling the truth?" Ryuga was a little excited. After all, they were his enemies. If Kakashi had really killed them, it would be a revenge for Ryuga. Although they were not killed by him, Ryuga still feels very happy. Of course it's true, those two are dead, and now this battle has no meaning anymore. You can go to deal with their bodies. Well, I have a look. After Ryuga finished, he then calls the spy to go together with him. Kakashi naturally would not stay in the same place. The three of them then go toward those two bodies' location. In addition, if those two are really dead, then they know that Ochagakure needs Ryuga's help. They are not stupid. They know what to do and what not to do. After all, compared to their leader, Ochagakure is more important in their minds. The village is where their hometown, it is where their families and their friends live. The location is not that far, so it doesn't even take 1 minute to arrive. Those people from the caravans have long fled from the battlefield. They are the ones that Ryuga has found. Ryuga has already told them that they need to run when there is a fight. They fulfilled the words of Ryuga very seriously and ran very quickly without hesitation, so there was no one else at this time. When Ryuga saw Kenji and Yamazaki's bodies, he first laughed and then sobbed silently. In the end, they grew up together as partners. Although they have been using Ryuga and had killed Ryuga's wife and children, Ryusaki still has a certain feeling for them. At this time, the two had died. Although Ryuga felt happy, he also feels some sadness. It was a surprise to those two bodies. The spy then looked at the fatal wounds of both of them. They were all slightly burned in the chest. They were killed by the extremely formidable lightning ninjutsu. Seeing this, the spy can't help but admire Kakashi. He really is a strong young man. He used to think that with the age of Kakashi, he only got genin level strength. It looks like he is really wrong. He is actually strong enough to kill both Kenji and Yamazaki by himself. As for the other two Chunin, after seeing those two bodies, they don't speak anything. These are really a tragedy. It is really unpleasant to say it. Both of them sighed and knew that the rest was based on Ryuga's decision. This masked silver-haired teenager is really not simple at all. They didn't put this boy in their eye before, but now it seems that this boy is the key to this battle. They finally understood to never underestimate someone. Just look at this now. They don't know how, but Kakashi is able to defeat Kenji and Yamazaki. It also seems that he is able to defeat both of them easily. Kakashi silently looks at Ryuga, looks at him laughing, looks at him mourning and crying. Kakashi's heart is unexpectedly calm. It makes Kakashi to remember something from the original's memory. In the memory of the original Kakashi, Kakashi also cried like this when Rin died. When he thought that Obito had died, Kakashi's mood was so heavy. When his teacher Minato died, Kakashi was equally sad. This feeling of Ryuga, Kakashi can understand it. After all, the original also had this experience. Sometimes, after you experience some suffering, you may be able to understand the suffering of others. There is no sound right now, except for the crying of Ryuga. There was no other sound here. No one else has moved, just stand silently while looking at this scene. Because Ryuga was a shinobi, he already used to see life and death, so he soon recovered. Ryuga looked at Kakashi and didn't hesitate to kneel in front of him. Ryuga greet the new leader. This move of Ryuga surprised everyone except Kakashi. After all, they did not know that there was such an agreement between Ryuga and Kakashi. How can pledge loyalty to him, Ryuga-san? You are the leader of Ochagakure. The spy then said. Although he knows that Kakashi is very strong, if Ryuga is following him, what about Ochagakure? The village does not have Jonin anymore, so if Ryuga doesn't come back, the village will be destroyed. The other two Chunin are also unwilling. After all, Ryuga is a shinobi of Ochagakure. At this time, Ryuga is the only Ochagakure's Jonin, there is no one else. Even after hearing them, Ryuga still said, Leader has avenged me. My life is now in Leader's hand. Ryuga of Ochagakure has long since died. Right now I am just a homeless person. Ryuga-san, have you forgotten Ochagakure? Ochagakure still needs you. I am sorry, this is my oath and I need fulfill it. Ryuga is determined in doing this. After all, a commitment is very important thing to Ryuga. Ryuga is such a person. Once he has made an oath, he will not break it, even if he knows that is wrong. And Ryuga does not think this is wrong. Therefore, even if Ryuga wants to return to Ochagakure, he must first complete his oath. Seeing this, the spy then feel helpless and can only look at Kakashi. After all, he knows that Kakashi is the most important person right now. Kakashi didn't pay attention to the spy, but only look at Ryuga, who is still kneeling. I accept your loyalty, but I still don't need you for the time being, so you should first go to Ochagakure, and when I need you, I will go find you there. Kakashi's words make the spy and the other two Chunin relaxed. It seems at least Ryuga still belonged to Ochagakure for now. Ryuga also feels moved after hearing Kakashi's order. Kakashi knows that although Ryuga has pledged his loyalty, he still wants to help Ochagakure. So Kakashi chooses to let him go there for now. In addition, even if he takes Ryuga with him, Kakashi doesn't have any place to arrange him. So he just simply left Ryuga in Ochagakure, and maybe Ryuga could help him cultivate his force there. Thank you very much, leader. Ryuga had completed his revenge, and the so-called protection mission to the Land of Wind was naturally cancelled. After all, this was originally a trick to invite Konoha's shinobi to join. So Kakashi doesn't need to spend extra time going to the Land of Wind. Anyway, Ryuga has already handed over the mission completed letter to Kakashi. The mission's deadline is still 10 days, so right now Kakashi did not intend to get back to the village because it was not easy to explain the reason. If he needs to explain everything that happened, Sandame's respect for him will drop. After all, collecting power from outside the village is not something that a person who loves Konoha should do. Kakashi naturally doesn't have any ill intent toward Konoha. This time it is an accident, but some things are hard to explain. So it is better to not talk about it. So Kakashi decided to hide this thing. After all, this matter is not big, but it also is not small. Kakashi is not afraid that this thing will leak out. Ochagakure is just a small village. No one will pay attention to it. Even if someone did pay attention to it, they will not think that village is related to Kakashi. After all, Kakashi's mission is just to protect the caravan, and the village sent those two people to rob it. Even if he has no plan to return to Konoha immediately, Kakashi also doesn't plan to go to Ochagakure. After all, it will inevitably leave some traces if he goes there. Kakashi is not willing to have more troubles. If he needs to use this leisure time, it is better to practice for a few more days. So, after bidding farewell to Ryuga, Kakashi found a place in the forest and prepared for practice for a few days. Somewhere in the forest, Kakashi is doing crazy training. Although it is the season right now is chilly, Kakashi's face is still full of sweat. Kakashi right now is breathing heavily, obviously working hard. He almost can't feel his body anymore, but he still keeps going. Fatigue is accumulating, and Kakashi feels that the body has reached extreme exhaustion. At this time, Kakashi then stopped and started to move his chakra by using the 8-gate technique. Kakashi closed his eyes and he starts to feel that his strength is growing. Suddenly, Kakashi opened his right eye and loudly screamed, "Gate of opening. Open." Within his body, it seems that there is a switch that opens up right now, his mind is clear, and his whole body strength seems to have been greatly improved. After a few moments, Kakashi felt that his body started to feel weak, he almost exhausted his stamina, and then he kneel on the ground. Ha! Ha! I finally opened the first gate. I feel that my body strength had greatly improved when using that. Moreover, it seems that my chakra has also been improved to a certain extent. Sure enough, increasing the body's strength will also greatly increase the amount of chakra. After learning the 8-gate technique with Guy, Kakashi finally opened the first gates of the 8-gate technique today. He feels some kind of achievement. He want to know what is Guy's expression when he knew that Kakashi had opened the first gate in just a few days. Kakashi does not know the difficulty to open the first gate, but it actually took 2 months to master it. Sure enough, the one who is terrifying in this world is not a genius, but a genius who work hard. Kakashi sat cross-legged on the ground and began to restore his stamina. After 15 minutes, his stamina has almost completely restored, and his chakra also recovered. Although it has not fully recovered, Kakashi already can move his body. Standing up, Kakashi patted the dust on his body, and he has completed this training. Train the 8-gate technique to open the first gate. That is the purpose of Kakashi's practice. There is still time left, and I can do something else. Kakashi touched his silver white hair, and there was some emotion in his heart. It seems that he have become stronger and stronger. Can he stop now? No. In this world, if he wants more strength he can't be lazy. After all, Kakashi is a person who is afraid of death, so he needs to become stronger, at least for now. Picking up the Millennium Sword, Kakashi then start to train his sword technique. Compared to before, it is obviously that he has become better at it. After a while, Kakashi finally sheathed his sword. Within his body, he feels his chakra pathway faintly trembled. Kakashi felt as if there was a slight change in the tenketsu inside his body. Kakashi start to meditate and feels some kind of light inside his mind, it seems to tell him something. Thinking about it, he starts to move his chakra into his hand, then there is now blue lightning on Kakashi's hand, and there is also some familiar voice. Chidori, Kakashi's most familiar ninjutsu, is also Kakashi's original ninjutsu. There is no one who understands this jutsu better than him. Kakashi knows that Chidori is just a prototype, just like Rasengan. They are filled with unlimited possibilities. Reikiri is a proof that Chidori can be stronger. However, Kakashi knows that in addition to being offensive, Chidori can also be used as a defense. Chidori Nagashi. Kakashi has tried to use this ninjutsu, but he never succeeded. This ninjutsu is actually not complicated. It is only on using the foundation of Chidori, and covering it all over his body. While the attack power is weaker, it will have a defensive effect. This is an A-rank ninjutsu, but unexpectedly, it is a very useful ninjutsu. It's just that this ninjutsu needs to use the tenketsu points on his body. Although it is not possible to release chakra from all tenketsu points like the Hyuga clan, it is possible to release chakra from some of them. After all, it is needed to use this ninjutsu. The previous Kakashi was unable to use chakra because of the tenketsu points on his body. However, the gate of opening seems to have caused some strange changes. Although most of the tenketsu points still cannot release chakra, there are a small number of tenketsu points that are able to release it. These tenketsu are enough for Chidori Nagashi. Kakashi with Chidori in his hand starts to quietly feel the chakra of Chidori to flow within his body. That's right, it's this feeling. Kakashi smiled happily. Chidori Nagashi. Then Chidori that is in Kakashi's hands quickly shrank until they disappeared, and in the next second, Kakashi's whole body was covered with blue lightning. Kakashi's eyes revealed a hint of excitement. This is the first time Kakashi has created a ninjutsu with his own ability. The sound of Chidori rang through the uninhabited forest, and the birds fly away as if seeing the birth of the King of Lighting. Kakashi clenched his right hand and then he stops Chidori Nagashi. Although Chidori Nagashi is just an A- ranked ninjutsu, it is still of great significance to Kakashi, which gives Kakashi more confidence. It's time to go back. Kakashi muttered and prepared to return to Konoha. Only Kakashi at this time has more confidence than before. Kakashi packed up his things and prepared to go back to Konoha, but after thinking about it, Kakashi decided to go to the land of wind for a little wandering. It is not to see the world, but to inquire about intelligence. If he gets back to Konoha, Sandaime may ask him about the situation of the land of wind. If he doesn't know about the situation, then it will be embarrassing for him. Although maybe it won't be asked, Kakashi still need to prepare just in case. After all, it is better to be prepared for anything. Furthermore, he is the border of the land of fire and the land of wind. It will only take one day to go back and forth, and it will not delay him much. When he thought about it, Kakashi chose to go directly to the capital. He knows that the living condition of the people in the land of wind is very bad. Even their shinobi living condition is not that much better. After all, the land of wind territory is mainly composed of deserts. Kakashi right now need to find some information, so he knew that it is better to go to the capital. Kakashi was wearing a black cloth at this time, and the Millennium Sword was sealed in the seal at his wrist. After all, it was a bit conspicuous, so he chose to hide it. And Kakashi's work to do this time is to be low-key. His Konoha headband is naturally the first thing to hide. His left eye is now wrapped in cloth, but he is not afraid of being discovered. This is a chaotic world, so there are not a few people who lose an eye. Sunagakur has indeed strengthened the defense of Land of Wind, but that's it. For people like Kakashi, this kind of defense has no meaning. After all, there are only few Jonin who are sent out to be a sentinel, and naturally it does not have much effect. Jonin is a valuable force in the village and they cannot be used to do such a thing. Most of the sentinels are those who have some kind of sensor ability. For example, Konoha often uses Inuzuka clan, Aburame clan and Hyuga clan as the sentinels. Kakashi passed the location very easily, and spent a day in the capital of the Land of Wind, inquiring about all the things that should be inquired. In fact, there is nothing he needs to take note about Sunagakur. Although Bunpuku, the Shukaku's Jinchuriki is dying, but he is still not dead yet, he maybe still got 1 or 2 months. Now Kasekage in Sunagakur is Rasa, and the Sandaime Kasekage has long been killed by Sasori. It is said that the Sandaime Kasekage is the most powerful Kasekage of all time, but he was killed by a 15-year-old kid. Although Sasori is a genius, as a Kasekage, he should be a genius too. He has to say that this Sandaime Kasekage is really strange. Kakashi's mind start wondering, but he stop it soon. After all, there was no need to care about these things. The place where he lives is Konoha. At least he should be safe for 12 years, and he doesn't need to care about another village for now. After inquiring some intelligence, Kakashi has no desire to stay here. After all, this is the territory of other countries. Although it is an alliance country, the situation here right now is not good. So it is the best for him to not get into trouble and leave right now. So Kakashi then left the Land of Wind without anyone knowing that he has just entered there. Kakashi kept moving through the woods. Suddenly, Kakashi stopped and he saw a man wearing Konoha's Anbu clothes. Kakashi feels that this person's back is familiar, as if he has seen it before. Soon, Kakashi remembered who this person is. Yamato. What is this guy doing here? Kakashi had some doubts, but since he sees him, Kakashi didn't mind saying hello. Hey! Kakashi's call awakened Yamato. Yamato then turned and looked at Kakashi and secretly thought, it's him. Kakashi jumped in front of Yamato and said, you are the wood release user, right? What are you doing here? Mission. Strong and strange. That is Yamato's impression on Kakashi. The last time, he failed the mission to assassinate the Hokage because of this guy's appearance. They didn't even get see Hokage's face and before they failed. Kakashi didn't ask much when he hears it. Since it was mission, Yamato apparently did not intend to tell Kakashi about its content. After all, Shinobi's mission is confidential, even if it is to a companion in the same village, they can't casually tell it. The atmosphere seemed strange for a while, and when Kakashi was about to leave, suddenly a little girl ran over. Tenzo, it is not good, Orochimaru-sama wants to kill our people. Yamato pupils shrank, obviously a little surprised, but then he looked at Kakashi. He feel that the situation are a little bad. If Kakashi knows about this thing, he is afraid he won't be able to explain it easily. For a time, Yamato's head kept thinking, trying to find a reasonable explanation. Kakashi was a little surprised to see this little girl. Is this girl Ibari clan? Isn't this the story that happened when Orochimaru defected? However, Orochimaru has defected for more than half a month, how can it not be over yet? Is it the butterfly effect that happens because of him? Kakashi felt a little confused at this time, and there was a feeling that the situation was out of control. At this time, the little girl also saw Kakashi, looking at Yamato with a puzzled look and said, Tenzo, who is this person? He is my friend. Yamato didn't know why he suddenly said so. Kakashi also looked at Yamato with amazement. After all, the two of them are at most just the same people in the same village. To say that they are friends, it feels really strange. Great. Your friend must be very strong, right? Then let's go rescue my clan. Yukimi knew that the chance her clan will be saved is better if there are more people. Yamato glanced at Kakashi and said, what's you gonna do? I will go and see it first. Kakashi didn't care, even though it was Orochimaru, but now Kakashi is not afraid of Orochimaru. Even if he can't defeat Orochimaru, but if he wants to run, Orochimaru won't be able to stop him. After all, right now he got the Mangekyo Sharingan. Now Kakashi wants to know where the plot is going, and hopes that he won't cause too much change. Seeing Kakashi agree, Yamato is a little shocked. After all, they are talking about Orochimaru, but Kakashi seems not afraid at all. Yamato then starts to have another impression on Kakashi. Is it because the newborn calf is not afraid of the tiger? Why did he have such confidence? Yamato does not know that Kakashi once fought against Orochimaru. If he knew about it, he would be even more surprised than now. Seeing Kakashi agree, although Yamato was a little surprised, but he did not say anything. He has lived with the people from Ibari clan for more than half a month. Yamato also had certain feelings for them. If he could save them, Yamato would not hesitate. So the Kakashi and those two set off together. On the way, Kakashi couldn't resist his curiosity and asked Yamato about the situation. Hey, what the hell is going on? Kakashi asked. My name is Kino. Yamato did not immediately answer Kakashi's question, but first tell him his name. Kakashi glanced, and immediately said, Hatake Kakashi. I know about you, you are very famous at the roots. Yamato said quietly. This is something Kakashi didn't think of, but it was obviously not the time to pay attention to this kind of thing. Why are you here? What is the matter with Orochimaru? And what is that clan? In order to understand the truth of the matter as soon as possible, Kakashi asked 3 questions. Because the plot was changed now, Kakashi did not dare to guarantee that the things he saw in his previous life were the truth of the matter, so he still has to ask about it. The voices of both of them were very small. Yukimi right now is more than 5 meters apart from them. Therefore, although Yukimi knew that the two were communicating, she did not know what the two were saying. She just thought they were discussing about the plan to save her clan. Yamato glanced at Yukimi and then whispers, "After Orochimaru defect, Danzo-sama sent me here, saying that this is a secret base of Orochimaru. So he told me to investigate it and try to find Orochimaru's trace." Quote, "Orochimaru has been defecting for more than half a month. Why are you still here? The investigation is not over yet. There is a group of strange people called the Ibari clan. They had the ability to become smoke at will and still be able to physically interact with the world around them. However, this ability was imperfect, causing them to occasionally transform unintentionally. In their smoke form, they were vulnerable to wind as it caused them to disperse permanently and die. Orochimaru helps them control this ability, so their lifespan has grown. They are very grateful to Orochimaru, so they think Orochimaru will come back to them again, so I stayed here to continue the investigation and never went back. Why do they trust you? The girl behind is called Yukimi. She mistook me for her missing younger brother, so because of that I can get along with their clan." What Yamato did not say is that for more than half a month of getting along, he also had grown fond of Yukimi, and today it is because Yukimi said that she has never seen the scenery outside, so Yamato now take her out to go outside. However, then Yukimi saw something and suddenly start to run wildly. Yamato then chased her and didn't focus on his surrounding and was found by Kakashi. What he didn't even think was that when he finally see Yukimi again, she bring the news of that Orochimaru is slaughtering the Ibari clan people, which makes Yamato doesn't understand. Isn't Ibari clan Orochimaru's subordinate? Why does Orochimaru come to slaughtering the Ibari clan? The reason Yukimi is running is because that she sensed the clan is dying. She rushed over and saw the dying Ibari clan's chief, Gata, and learned about Orochimaru. Gata tell Yukimi to run from there, but Yukimi just come back to Yamato's location to ask him to save her clan. After listening to Yamato's explanation, Kakashi then start thinking, except for the part that he was originally participating in, the other thing were similar to the plot, but what Kakashi didn't understand is that why did Orochimaru, who had successfully escaped from the land of fire, come back here? The Ibari clan should not be that important to Orochimaru. After thinking for a while, they finally arrive at the Ibari clan's location. The dark cave looks scary, as if it were a mouth of ferocious beast, waiting for people to walk right into a trap. Kakashi and Yamato stood at the gate of the cave, waiting for Yukimi that had not come yet. After all, letting the Yukimi go alone is too dangerous. After a moment, the panting Yukimi finally arrived too. "Tenzo, let's go in." It didn't take long for Kakashi's group to walk into the cave, and they then smelled a strong bloody scent. "There is a lot of blood here, I am afraid that a lot of people have died." Kakashi frowned. It seems that like the original history, this Ibari clan were be killed by Orochimaru. Looking at Yukimi, he doesn't know if this girl is so lucky. It didn't take long for them to see some of the Ibari clan member lying on the ground. Seeing this, Yukimi turned pale with fright, ran to the body while yelled, "Everyone! What's wrong? Wake up!" It is a pity that no matter how many times Yukimi called them, the Ibari clan member who have already become corpses will not respond to her again. Ooh, there is still some little mice left. From the darkness, a figure slowly emerged. Kakashi was shocked, and the Millennium Sword instantly appeared in his hand. Yamato also raised his vigilance in an instant. They saw a blue-haired middle-aged shinobi wearing a white robe appearing in front of them. Apparently he is not Orochimaru. Kakashi frowned. "What about Orochimaru? Who are you?" "Me. You don't need to know who I am. You seem to be shinobi of Konoha. But that little girl seems to be one of the Ibari clan members." After hearing this, Kakashi and Yamato instantly stand in front of Yukimi to protect her. Who are you? What is your purpose for coming here? Yamato shouted. Seeing this person's goal turned out to be Yukimi, Yamato was obviously angry. It seems I can tell you about it. After all, you all will be killed by me here. I am Orochimaru-sama's subordinate, Samazawa. My purpose of coming here today is to collect the blood of the Ibari family for Orochimaru-sama's research. Damn, you actually regard human life like a plaything. Yamato is obviously very angry. After all, in the past months, Yamato has established a good relationship with the Ibari clan. Kakashi is very calm. Shinobi's world is like this. The strong prey on the weak and the weak can't say anything about it. Now it seems that Orochimaru didn't come back here, only Orochimaru's subordinate is coming. Kakashi relaxed, although no longer afraid of Orochimaru, but does not mean he is willing to meet him. Haha, you are really naive. Are you really a shinobi? The tone of Samazawa is full of ridicule and he is amused hearing about what Yamato said. Yamato naturally understands that the strong prey on the weak. After all, he grows in the roots, a place full of blood and darkness. It's just that Yamato is a kind person, so he can't accept it. Okay, enough talking, just hand over the little girl now, then I can still let you live. Impossible, Yamato said with firm voice. He decides that he will use his life to protect Yukimi. Then he starts to make hand seals. Wood release. Great forest technique. Yamato's arm instantly turned into a giant wood, and hit Samazawa. Wood release. Samazawa was shocked. Hasn't this ninjutsu been extinct since the death of the first Hokage? How could it appear again? Is this guy a Senju clan member? At this time, Samazawa almost want to run away. After all, wood release is the skill of the ones called the god of shinobi, who is still very famous in this world, even if he had been dead for decades. However, even when Samazawa was shocked, he still reacted. Water release. Gunshot. Samazawa hands start to form hand seal and then Samazawa spits a water ball from his mouth, breaking the giant wood directly. Samazawa was stunned. Originally he wants to run away. But after seeing this, he stops. It is actually broken. Samazawa first thought that his jutsu would only be able to delay the wood release, but now it seems that the wood release is broken. Looking at the small body of the young boy in front of him, Samazawa finally realizes. After all, he is just a little kid. It seems that he is only about 10 years old. At this age, even if it is a wood release user, he can't be that strong. Samazawa then started to feel confidence and sneered at Kakashi and Yamato with disdain. This is wood release. It's really weak, not as good as I heard. Samazawa's taunt did not arouse the anger of Kakashi and Yamato. Both of them are calm people, and naturally they will not be angry with this kind of words. As the people of Ibari have been killed by you? Kakashi suddenly asked. That's right. After all, I need to take their blood. If they move too much, it will make too much trouble for me. So it is better to kill them directly. It is more convenient for me to take blood if they are dead. But it looks like their blood is not very good, maybe it's because they're too old. I think the little girl behind you should have good blood quality. Kakashi then gripped the millennium in his hand tighter. Right now he was a little angry. Although he knew that this was a world as ruthless, Kakashi still can't accept if there is someone who did not respect other people's lives. Wood release. Smothering binding technique. Yamato attack again. He now just wants to quickly kill Samazawa and protect Yukimi. Yamato's arm then transform into a tree, after that multiple branches which will rapidly grow around Samazawa. He then increases his chakra output to squeeze Samazawa. HMPH. Samazawa coldly snorted. The muscles of his body then grow, and there is blue chakra come out, breaking all the branches that bind him. You can't bind me with this weak branches. Now, you will die. Damn it. Yamato slams his right fist into the ground, and he was really angry. Yamato really hate this feeling of powerlessness. When Yukimi saw it, she quickly said, Tanzo, don't do this. Sorry that you see me like this, Yukimi. I am so useless. Yukimi hearing this shook her head. Tanzo, you are not useless, you need believe in yourself. Yamato nodded. Yes, I won't give up. It's a touching scene, but you still have to die. Samazawa smiled and looked extremely arrogant. Kakashi can no longer look at this nonsense. It looks like he needs to kill Samazawa now. A water release shinobi. They are his favorite opponent. With the millennium in his hand, Kakashi then start to attack Samazawa. Samazawa seeing this then blocked Kakashi's blow. What a strong power! Samazawa exclaimed. He didn't expect this thin boy to have to be this strong. Kakashi did not pay attention to his praise. After all, what is so good about hearing enemies praise? Leaf whirlwind. Kakashi then kicked Samazawa with his right foot. Samazawa couldn't dodge it and he was kicked directly and slammed into the wall of the cave, creating a big crack on the wall. Yamato and Yukimi are shocked. He's so powerful. Yamato muttered to himself, the silver-haired boy in front of him seems to be stronger than before. Kakashi took back his right foot and the result from the practice of the 8 gates technique start to show at this moment. Although he didn't open any gates just now, his body quality has already grown after practicing it. The result of his training is really good. Kakashi's original body is not weak at all. Now that his body strength has been enhanced to some extent, his full power attack has become really strong. Kakashi then quietly looked at Samazawa. Although this blow is good, it is not enough to knock down this person. After all, he is Orochimaru's subordinate, he must be not that weak. Sure enough, Samazawa quickly stood up. Silver hair with a long sword, you are the Hitaki Kakashi that Orochimaru-sama had warned me about. It was a huge mistake for not noticing you until now. Samazawa coughed a few times. Apparently he is damaged by Kakashi's kick. Kakashi was a little surprised. He didn't expect Orochimaru to warn to his subordinate about him. Did Orochimaru approve his strength? Samazawa feels his luck is bad. Before, it was a wood release user, now there is Kakashi that seems stronger than him. And this place also has no water at all. It looks like he is in a bad situation. In this case, it is the best for him to run away. Kakashi doesn't know that this guy is thinking a plan to run now, and Kakashi start to move towards him with sword in his hand. Samazawa has already realized the power of the Kakashi's taijutsu, and naturally he will not fight with Kakashi in close combat. Water release. Water barrage. Samazawa spit out dozens of water balls from the mouth and instantly raised countless dust on the ground. Cough, cough. Kakashi then got caught up by the dust. A chance. Samazawa then start to move, a needle suddenly appears in his hand, and he run towards Yukimi's direction, trying to take the blood of Yukimi. Kakashi immediately noticed that, and he was rushing to the side of Yukimi with a very fast speed. Samazawa did not expect Kakashi's speed to be so fast, but he still reacted, and uses both of his hands to block Kakashi's kick. Kakashi then show a smile, seeing that only Samazawa is close to him now, he wants to test his new technique. Chidori Nagashi. The blue lighting starts to envelopes the location near Kakashi and it looks imposing to people seeing it. Ah! Samazawa screamed and was knocked down to the ground by this sudden lighting. The blue lighting also shakes all the surrounding dust, and the field of vision becomes clear instantly. Yamato and Yukimi then saw those two figures. Samazawa is now lying on the ground, and it is clear that the lighting has paralyzed him. Did he win? Snow couldn't believe after looking at all of this. Samazawa that is very strong is now defeated by Kakashi after just 2 minutes. Yukimi now is stunned. Yamato is also looking at Kakashi, while thinking that Kakashi is really strong. Oni-chan, you are really strong. Yukimi says as she looks at Kakashi with worship. Yamato was feeling awkward now. After all, he was easily defeated by Samazawa. But Kakashi defeats Samazawa in just 2 minutes, and he also only used one ninjutsu. The gap between them is really huge. However, Yamato is not discouraged. After all, Kakashi is 4 years older than him. It is normal for him to be weaker. Kakashi smiled and said, "I will let you deal with this person." Yamato nodded. In order to prevent Samazawa escaping, Yamato tied him with his wood release. However, looking at Samazawa's condition, it is estimated that he will not get up for a while. Although the power of Chidori Nagashi is not as good as original Chidori, it is not that far behind. What's more, Samazawa is water release user shinobi, and his resistance to lightning release is very low. So he must have taken a lot of damage from this. Kakashi and the others did not notice that when the Samazawa was paralyzed, a small snake sneaked into the soil from the sleeves of Samazawa and disappeared. "Kino, are you going back to Konoha?" Kakashi suddenly asked. Right now, the Ibari clan is killed, and Orochimaru has not appeared. He just sent a subordinate here, so Yamato's mission is obviously over, and Yamato also has no reason to stay here anymore. But there is still Yukimi, who is all alone now. After all, Yukimi is definitely not able to return to Konoha with him, because Yukimi is one of Orochimaru's subordinate. Even if Orochimaru has abandoned her, the fact still won't change. Konoha will not allow such a person to live in the village. Therefore, Yukimi can't follow Yamato back to Konoha. "I will go back too," Yamato then said. Kakashi was not surprised by this and said, "Then I will wait for you outside, you should hurry." Okay. Seeing Yamato's consent, Kakashi went outside to wait. He knew that Yamato had something to say to Yukimi, so he didn't bother them. Kakashi walked out of the cave, stood at the door of the cave and sighed softly. The story has changed subtly, but it seems to have returned to its original track. If there is a change, Kakashi can't help it. After all, it's impossible for him to be exactly the same as the original Kakashi. If the plot does change, Kakashi can only face it. Sure enough, only when there is an absolute strength, that he can calmly face any unknown fear. Just as Kakashi was thinking about this, there was a loud cry from the cave. "Yukimi, what happened to you?" The voice is full of panic and helplessness. Kakashi, hearing this, quickly get back into the cave. The distance is not far, so Kakashi quickly arrive at that location. He saw that the Yukimi was screaming in pain, and Yamato is now looking anxiously at Yukimi. He doesn't know what happened. Samazawa that are bound by one side seems to have lost his life. Seeing Kakashi, Yamato looks like he found a savior, and quickly asked, "Kakashi-senpai, can you please look at what happens to Yukimi?" Kakashi didn't answer, but he quickly moves toward Yukimi and look at the back of her neck. It really is a cursed seal. Seeing Kakashi's action, Yamato is somewhat puzzled. "Kakashi-senpai, Kino, Yukimi has a cursed seal from Orochimaru inside her body." "What do you mean?" asked Yamato inexplicably. "Orochimaru's cursed seal. The integration of it will be very painful. If she could hold on, she will have a chance to get a terrifying strength, but 9 of the 10 people will not survive." "What? Yukimi got that kind of thing inside her body?" Yamato said urgently. Kakashi doesn't say anything. Yamato is shocked. Is it not possible to help her? Can he only just look at his companion dying when she was being experimented? No, he won't let her die. Yamato roars in his heart. He won't that situation happen. Kakashi quietly looked at Yamato. Yukimi's life or death is now based on Yamato's efforts, and Kakashi does not want to say anything at this time, as to avoid unnecessary changes. If the original work, Yukimi is not dead, so he avoids saying anything. Yukimi, who's still screaming, suddenly stops and lie quietly on the ground. "Yukimi!" Yamato cried in horror and ran to the side of Yukimi. "Tenzo, Yukimi saw him coming and want to say something, but she didn't have the strength to say any more. Yukimi's body then gradually became blurred, and then turned into a white smoke, slowly drifting upwards. No, Yamato couldn't accept everything in front of him, and his chakra start to rumble. That's right. Wood release is said to be a life-giving ninjutsu, and it can definitely save Yukimi. Yamato thought of this, so he starts to form hand seals. Wood release. Wood locking wall. The giant wood appeared again, but this time it was not for attack, but for guarding. The wood quickly rose from the ground and continually chased the white smoke that was about to fly away, but the wood can't catch it. Damn it. Yamato did not give up. His chakra output increased more sharply, and sweat start to drip on Yamato's face. At this moment, the people of the Ibari clan who had passed away turned into white smoke and flew into the wooden wall that Yamato made. Kakashi couldn't help but open his Sharingan to observe it. Kakashi was puzzled. There was a strange energy in the white smoke, but Kakashi didn't know what it was, but it was kind of familiar. That's right. It is the power of soul. The energy of this is very similar to the power of the soul that Kakashi saw when his soul is merging. Thinking about this, Kakashi then closed his Sharingan. No wonder Yukimi can be resurrected. The Ibari clan member infused all their soul power into Yukimi's body, so that it can reshape the flesh and become the last hope of the Ibari family to survive. The white smoke wrapped all the wood that Yamato make, and also wrapped itself into Yukimi's white smoke, and finally it turned into a big tree with golden light, and Yukimi was reborn from the big tree. Yamato excitedly shouted, "Yukimi!" Yukimi opened her eyes after hearing Yamato's voice and reveals a smile. Kakashi also smiled. Fortunately, it was a happy ending. In the woods, 3 people are standing near the front of the cave. Kakashi then said, "Yukimi, Kino, I will go back to the village first. I will not tell anything about happened here. You two can take care of it yourself." "Thank you Kakashi senpai. Thank you Kakashi ni-san. I will now walk on my own path. I believe you can do it." "Oh yes Yukimi, come over here. I need tell you something." Even if it's strange, Yukimi still come closer to Kakashi. Yamato is very curious about what those two are saying, but Kakashi obviously did not intend to let Yamato hear it. So Yamato could not hear anything. "I understand Kakashi ni-san. Good. Then I will leave now." Kakashi left after he finishes, and soon he disappeared from this place. In fact, what Kakashi said to Yukimi is that if she doesn't has any place to go, it is better to go to Ochagakure and find their leader, Ryuga. If she says that she is Kakashi's friend, Ryuga will take care of her. Of course, Kakashi didn't say that Ryuga is his subordinate, and just tell her that Ryuga was his friend. Kakashi doesn't want any unnecessary trouble after all. He only hopes that this can help her a little. The scenery in front of him starts to change, and Kakashi once again set foot on the way back to Konoha. After a few days of moving, Kakashi finally arrived at Konoha. In the Hokage office, Sandaime didn't ask about the intelligence from the Land of Wind, and Sandaime just praised Kakashi for his mission, and tell him to get a good rest. Kakashi is feeling good because there is no accident. Originally, he gets intelligence about the Land of Wind just in case. So even if Sandaime didn't ask him, Kakashi still feels that was worth it, so he doesn't need to be scared of loophole. After reporting the mission, Kakashi decided to go to Ichiraku Ramen to have a good meal. Kakashi seems to fall in love with this kind of warm food. And the food in Ichiraku Ramen is very good. But sometimes he still needs to eat meats and vegetables for nutrition. Original Kakashi has a good cooking experience, and his craft is good, but after the rebirth, Kakashi rarely cooks himself. The reason is to save time so he can use it for training. It looks like Kakashi forced himself to be too tense after his rebirth. Kakashi then sit in a chair inside the ramen, and start ordering. His mind then starts to wander. Kakashi, your ramen is ready. Tsuki then put a bowl of ramen in front of Kakashi while smiling at him. Thank you, Tsuki-san. Kakashi then says his thanks. Haha, Kakashi, you are still so polite. Tsuki laughed, obviously in a good mood. Then I will eat this now. Kakashi said as he pulls his mask down and starting to enjoy the ramen in front of him. Seeing the face under Kakashi's mask, although it wasn't his first time seeing it, Tsuki couldn't help but be surprised. Kakashi's face was really exquisite. Kakashi, why are you always wearing a mask? Kakashi touched the mask on his neck and said, I was getting used to wearing it. The original Kakashi wore a mask because he was teased by his father. He said that Kakashi had a beautiful face like a woman. Kakashi was very angry at that time. The child's mind was always stubborn, so he put on a mask and did not take it off except for eating. After the death of his father, this mask became a style of Kakashi to remember his father, so he didn't stop wearing it. At this time, Kakashi inherits the memories and emotions of the original body, so he continues doing it. Oh, so that's the reason. I also haven't seen you come here recently. Did you go to execute mission? Well, I went out of village, so I couldn't come here. Kakashi said as he had finished eating the ramen. Thank you for hospitality. Tsuki then said with a smile. Your eating speed is still so fast. That's because Tsuki-san's ramen is delicious. Ha ha ha, you really got a good way for talking. Well, today's ramen is free. Kakashi's approval of his ramen is obviously making him very happy, so Kakashi is exempt from paying. Well, thank you very much then. Kakashi did not refuse. After all, it is not good to refuse people's goodwill, and Kakashi has a good impression on Tsuki. So he does not reject this kindness. Well, come again next time. Tsuki said with a smile. Of course. Kakashi turned and left, and returned to his home. Tsuki smiled but didn't say anything as he looks at Kakashi who's leaving, and returned to his own shop. At this time, there are no costumers at the restaurant, so there are no people in the restaurant. Kakashi is still the same as he training again the next day. Sometimes he trains by himself, sometimes he come looking for guy to train together. He spent his time leisurely. Between practices, he is trying to remember about the future events, or to think about creating new ninjutsu. In his own mind, Kakashi knows a lot of formidable ninjutsu, but he only knows its power, and doesn't know how to create it. And if he wants to use it, he needs to constantly learn it. Fortunately, Kakashi's insight is really great. He believed that he will be able to create all of those ninjutsu in time. Of course, the forbidden technique is not good. Lightning releases practice has always been in Kakashi's practice schedule. In addition to the Hatake clan sword technique, they are the most important skill to Kakashi. Kakashi knows that the strongest lightning release in original work is Kirin, but this ninjutsu has too much restriction. If he can remove the restriction and use it at will, Kirin can become a trump card for him. It's just that Kakashi hasn't figured out what can be done to achieve this. However, also considered to learn Rasengan. After all, it is a great ninjutsu, and maybe he can recreate the Rasen Shuriken. This ninjutsu's power is not small, but if there is no Sage mode, there will be dangerous side effect, so it can't be used for the time being. Thinking of this, Kakashi sighed, and there is too much restriction in strong ninjutsu. So he can only learn all of it slowly. At this stage, Kakashi's main task is to strengthen his physique, increase his chakras reserve, at the same time train his sword skill. He also need to train his lightning release. As for the other aspects, he temporarily stops it. In fact, there is still too many things that need to be done. A few days later, Kakashi was once again called by Sandame into his office. Sandame-sama, are you looking for me? Sandame hearing this then raised his head from a pile of documents and said, Oh, you're here Kakashi. There are some things I need to tell you. Please tell me, Sandaime-sama. Kakashi, the missions piled up in the village is almost finished, so you can go back to Anbu and continue working there. This time you will join Anbu's 6th team, which has 3 people. It used to be Yondaime's guard platoon. I understand, Sandaime-sama. The appearance of 3 people flashed in his mind as Kakashi heard this. Well, you need to go to Anbu Great Hall now and meet with them. Okay, Sandaime-sama. After Kakashi finished, he went to Anbu Great Hall. For Yondaime's guard platoon, Kakashi, remember that they are Rado Namiyashi, Genma Shiranui, and Iwashi Tatami. And the 3 seems to have been taught by Yondaime about Flying Thunder God Jutsu. Kakashi doesn't know how many years they have learned about it. Thinking about it, Kakashi I then start to shine. That's right, Flying Thunder God Jutsu. This ninjutsu is very powerful space-type ninjutsu, and it also doesn't have side effect like Kamui. And once he masters this ninjutsu, he will be invincible. As long as he doesn't encounter something that restrains space ninjutsu, he won't die. For a time, Kakashi's heart start to beat faster, and then he remember about Minato's kunai that he gives to Kakashi when he became a Jonin. That kunai has the Flying Thunder God Jutsu seal on it. Anbu is the short of Ansatsu Senjutsu Tokushu Butai, which means Special Assassination and Tactical Squad, was established by Nadaime Hokage. At the beginning, their most important function was to protect the Hokage and defend against foreign enemies. When they execute mission, they will hide their identity with a white animal mask. The work of Anbu is boring and full of blood, and the mission is also not easy at all. Of course, they still need to get the trust of Hokage. Speaking of this, there are now 2 types of Anbu. One is Anbu which belongs only to Hokage, and the other belongs to the route that Danzo lead. Of course they never get on each other ways, but they also never help each other. After all, the conflict between Danzo and the Sandaime is not a secret for the village's top people. Anbu Great Hall is the base of Anbu that belong only to Hokage. Kakashi is no stranger of this place, although he has not been here since he was reborn, but the previous Kakashi was a frequent visitor here. The Anbu who had previously teamed up with Kakashi had died in the Kyuubi's attack, so Sandaime arranged new teammates for Kakashi this time. And Kakashi also know his new teammates. After all, those 3 people were always next to the Minato. Kakashi, who was Minato's disciple, naturally has met them before. When Kakashi came to Anbu Great Hall, it was still look the same as he remembered, and then he start to look for his new teammates. At this time, there are not a lot of people, so Kakashi recognized their location after looking for a while. When Kakashi arrived, the 3 also saw Kakashi. Hey Kakashi, you're late. We have waited for a long time now. Genma Shiranui said as they walked to Kakashi's location. Sorry, I just got the news. Kakashi hearing this was embarrassed. After all, the original Kakashi is also always late and use strange reason. Now that he late again, he needs to apologize. Well, since that is the case, let's go ahead and execute the mission. Okay, but what is the mission? Kakashi asked curiously. Nothing much, it is just some daily missions. We need to go to the border of the Land of Fire and the Land of Lighting to see the situation, and get the latest information of the border defense from the security personnel there. Among the 3, Genma Shiranui is the oldest. At the same time he is also a very calm person, so he is the one who convey the mission. Oh okay then, are we going now? Kakashi asked. Don't be so anxious, there is an hour to prepare. After an hour, we then gather at the gate of the village, do you get it? Got it. Okay. Disband. Genma Shiranui and the other 2 then leave. Kakashi also go back to his home to prepare the necessary things. He then put all of his things inside the seal. He then takes out a bag from inside his room. That bag looks like it never had been opened for a long time. He then takes out something from inside the bag. Then Kakashi is feeling melancholy after seeing this. Minato-sensei, Kakashi whispered while stroking the kunai that Minato has gifted to him. Flying Thunder God technique is a very strong ninjutsu. Every person who masters Flying Thunder God technique will be known as the fastest shinobi, and they will become a sign of the enemy's death. Flying Thunder God technique can be used to reach its seal location. And the seal will never disappear. This terrifying space ninjutsu, to a certain extent, is more terrifying than Kamui. This technique contains a very profound space theory. Even if Kakashi has extraordinary ninjutsu talent, he is still confused by it. Minato is not a petty person. He even teaches his platoon guard the Flying Thunder God technique. Of course he will also teach Kakashi about it. It was only that at that time, Kakashi was struggling with the darkness in his heart, so Minato wait for him to be better before he teach him. It was just not expected that Minato would die and he's not able to teach him that jutsu. It's really a shame that no one has mastered that jutsu again. Even Genma, Rado and Iwasi can only work together to use it, and it is also not the real Flying Thunder God technique. Perhaps only Nadaime Hokage and Minato are the ones who managed to master this ninjutsu. Kakashi thought of this, could not help but feel a little emotional, as he gently touches the kunai. What? Suddenly, Kakashi found that something is wrong. This kunai was supposed to be cold. How could it feel warm? Kakashi looked at it and found out that it wasn't from the kunai, but it was from the seal. The seal is actually feels warm. And there is also a faint chakra's flow from there. This is chakra of Minato. Kakashi was surprised. After all, Minato had passed away. It was amazing that his chakra could still flow inside here. Then he suddenly realized, if there is no trace of chakra from Minato, how can he know and teleport to the specific location? It's really a terrifying ninjutsu. Even if the Minato-sensei has passed away, the seal still plays a can be used. It is no wonder that in the original work, Minato-sensei who is being resurrected by Edo Tensei can still use the seal he left behind. Seeing the seal is a bit warm, Kakashi has a desire to find out what kind of secret does this terrifying space ninjutsu have. And since he wants to understand it, it is natural to take a good look with his eyes. Then, Sharingan. Kakashi opened his headband to reveal the Sharingan that had been sealed for a long time. 3 black tomo in the scarlet pupils kept turning, and Sharingan's observation is being used to the extreme by Kakashi. The purpose is to take a look at the secret of this Flying Thunder God technique. This feeling, it is not enough. Ordinary Sharingan won't be able to look at this jutsu's secret, it looks like I have to use it. Mangekyo Sharingan. Quote, the 3 black tomo instantly merge into one to form a black dart shape. Kakashi instantly felt that the insight of his left eye is greatly improved, but his chakra is consumed at a terrifying pace. What a terrifying ninjutsu, there are so many complicated secrets hidden in this seal. Under Mangekyo's insight, Kakashi finally saw the tip of the iceberg of Flying Thunder God technique, but this tip of the iceberg made Kakashi couldn't help but feel odd. No wonder that after Minato, no one was able to master this space ninjutsu. This technique is really complicated and hard to understand. Only a true genius like Minato can master this technique easily. Just as Kakashi thinking about this, his left eye suddenly started to change and the black darts pattern began to turn. He feels some kind of formidable suction at his left eye, and the seal from the kunai was directly sucked by Kakashi's left eye. This Kakashi, who has witnessed all this, can't understand what is going on right now. Closing his left eye, Kakashi felt that there was something else in his original scarlet eye. And that thing is the special seal of Flying Thunder God technique. Mangekyo Sharingan actually sucked the seal technique. What is going on here? Kakashi couldn't understand what happened. After all, Flying Thunder God technique has nothing to do with Mangekyo. Wait, maybe it has anything to do with his Mangekyo. Kakashi's Mangekyo is from Obito, while Obito's Mangekyo has space-type skill, and Flying Thunder God technique is also the space-type ninjutsu. Is it the resonance between these two similar space-type techniques? Kakashi can't think of any other reason, but he knows that he can only guess for now. After all, there seems to be no similarity between them except the space ability. After resealing his Sharingan, Kakashi felt that there were some obscure techniques in his mind that were constantly flowing. Kakashi then feels happy. After all, that is the Flying Thunder God technique. Kakashi suppressed the excitement of his heart. He didn't expect there is a trait of Flying Thunder God technique to let him learn this kind of ninjutsu. It was really a very good luck. But soon, Kakashi's excitement is gone. The reason is very simple. Kakashi found that the procedures to learn are so difficult, maybe it will take 2 or 3 years for him to fully understand it, and to master this, he may need at least 5 years. Discover more. Fanfiction editing service. Anime and manga. Anime fanfiction books. It looks like he needs to practice it. At least he needs Minato's level of reflex to really master the Flying Thunder God technique. After thinking about this, Kakashi knows that he will be able to use this technique after 5 or 6 years. 5 or 6 years. It is good enough. Kakashi clenched his fist and feels a little excited. He didn't expect to get this ninjutsu so soon. Kakashi muttered, "Minato-sensei, is this all your arrangement?" Kakashi quickly stopped his drifting thoughts and put the kunai back into the bag. This is the only thing Minato has left for Kakashi, and Kakashi will not discard it, even if it is just an ordinary kunai now. Packing up all his things, Kakashi then left his house and go to the gate of the village. This time, Kakashi estimates that it will take a lot of time to complete this mission. After all, the border is not close to here. Even if they are running at full speed, it will take at least 5 days to get there. Soon, Kakashi finally arrived at the gate, and the 3 of his teammates had already waited here. "Kakashi, you are so slow," Genma complained. However, Kakashi is not late yet, and there is still 1 minute until their meeting time. It's just that these 3 has been here for half an hour, so they already wait for a while. Kakashi was almost late because of the recent Flying Thunder God technique incident. If not because of this, he will be already arrived earlier. "Sorry, I will pay attention next time." Genma still wants to say something, but Rado interjects him. "It's okay, you're not late, we are the one who arrived too early." Hearing what Rado said, Genma is a little embarrassed. After all, Kakashi is indeed not late. And Iwashi, who was on the side, did not say anything. Kakashi in the original work is always late, but he was always punctual when it is about a mission. After all, mission is very important. If he is late, it is likely to cause the mission to fail. Kakashi will not be playing around about it. "Well, because everyone is here, let's go then." Rado then said. Everyone had no opinion, so they start moving. Among the 4, Rado is the oldest as he is 16 years old. Genma is about the same age as Kakashi, about 14. Iwashi is the youngest, as he is 13 years old. At that time, Minato was in charge of cultivating his own force, so the selected Anbu was not very old, but had great potential. Most importantly, many are not children of the big clan. For example, these 3 people are all civilians, so it is great that they were recognized by Minato. Unfortunately, Minato has not yet cultivated them and died. However, their ability to enter Anbu shows that the strength of these 3 people should not be underestimated. It's just that they are still young, so their strength is not high. If they fight now, Kakashi can knock all these people down alone. After all, not everyone is Kakashi. At a young age, his strength is almost at cage level. Having that said, Kakashi at this time is stronger than the original Kakashi. Of course, this is because he includes the Mangekyo Sharingan. After all, With Kamui as his trump card, his strength is doubled. If he didn't use Sharingan, then he can't win against the original, but he also won't lose. After all, they have 12 years gap. Of course no one knows if that is the truth. After all, Kakashi can't fight against the original. The four men wear their Anbu's mask and start to jump between the trees. Kakashi is looking curiously at all around the forest. After all, these trees were said to have been made by the Shidaime Hokage, Hashirama Senju. What kind of terrifying might needed is to create this miracle? It's really frightening to think about it. After all, he is the man who's called the god of shinobi. 5 days later, the four men finally arrive at the border of the land of fire and the land of lighting. We finally arrive. It is really exhausting. Rado stood on a big tree and looked into the distance. At the same time, he is also complaining. After all, they are still teenagers, and they are all tired after 5 days of moving. Kakashi doesn't feel anything. After all, he has already experienced such a journey before. On the way here, Kakashi got a lot of harvest. These three have been taught by Minato. Although they don't know enough about Flying Thunder God technique, they still remember about what Minato said. So Kakashi used the excuse of exchanging their understanding about Flying Thunder God technique to discuss it with these three people. He also learned from their mouth how Minato explained the Flying Thunder God technique. These three people did not doubt Kakashi. After all, Kakashi is a Yondaime's disciple. It is not surprising for him to learn Flying Thunder God technique. Minato even taught them directly about it, so it is not surprising if he teach his own disciple too. In addition, they also saw that Kakashi did have an in-depth understanding of Flying Thunder God technique, but what they did not know is that Kakashi's knowledge of Flying Thunder God technique has just been learned by him. However, Kakashi also knows why Minato didn't teach all of the people he knew about this skill. Because Flying Thunder God technique can't be learned easily. Otherwise, if such technique is learned by all of Konoha's shinobi, no one can defeat Konoha anymore. Flying Thunder God technique has very high requirement for the practitioners. Minato knows that with these three people's latent talents, they probably won't be able to use Flying Thunder God technique even in all their life, but they can still use it together. This is also a way to increase the relationship between the three of them. Kakashi ignored Rado's complaints, then stand on a big tree and looked at the tower in the distance. It is Konoha's border defense base. There are dozens of shinobis stationed there to detect other countries' movement. If there is an enemy invasion, they will send this information to Konoha as fast as they can to let Konoha's top management get ready for the invasion. This work is boring and dull, so the member usually changes after 1 year. Because the people are bored in here, the 1-year scheduling period is very suitable. This time Kakashi and the others came here not to change with them, but to bring things back information from here, and at the same time also sent some supplies to this tower. It is precisely because of this that it needs 4 of them to come over. If it was just for information, they can just use eagle or other animal. It is not needed for people to come here. It seems that is our destination, Kakashi said. The remaining 3 nodded after hearing Kakashi. Yes, but it is the first time I come here. This tower is said to have been established 10 years ago. Rado looked at the tower in the distance as he touched the mask on his face. Let's go finish the mission, then we can go back. Okay. The 4 people then moved toward the tower. The tower is very tall, almost 50 meters high, and because of its height, it is easier to see the surrounding. Not long after, Kakashi's group arrives at the tower entrance. Who's there? The guarding shinobi noticed at the moment Kakashi and the others appeared near them. Although Kakashi's groups are wearing Anbu's clothes, they still need to wary. After all, enemy can also disguise as Anbu. Rado didn't say anything and directly take the letter from Sandaime. Sandaime-sama has orders for you to bring the recent information to me and I will bring them back to Konoha. We also come here to bring your 3 months of supplies. Genma said that as he bring out some seals from his inventory, and the seals were filled with food and various daily necessities for the dozens of people for the next 3 months. The 3 shinobis guard hearing this one nod. Recently the food in the tower is starting to get low. If there is no supply coming here, they can only hunt in this surrounding area. However, these 3 shinobi did not lose their wariness, but took over the Hokage's letter from the hands of Rado. After careful inspection, they finally confirmed that they are the real Anbu and finally relaxed. Sorry for the trouble, please enter the tower then. One of the middle-aged shinobi returned the Hokage's letter to Rado. Then they guide Kakashi's group into the tower. Kakashi, Genma, and Iwashi then looked at Rado. This time, Rado is captain, so they need to follow Rado's order. Let's go then. Rado also did not let them wait too long, and directly gave his order. They need to get the information from inside the tower. After all, even if they are still at the land of fire, they are now near the border. It is dangerous to get the information when they are still outside. So they did not hesitate and follow the 3 guarding shinobi into the tower. The interior of the tower is large, and the Great Hall alone is enough to accommodate thousands of people. After all, this tower was used as a base camp during wartime, so of course the structure is good. It was also the first time Kakashi comes here, and he is very curious about everything in front of him, but Kakashi's face is hidden under the mask, so the others can't see Kakashi's expression. The reason why Anbu need to wear a mask is not only to hide their identity, but it is to hide their expression. Shinobi should be always calm. But there are so many shinobi on this world, there will always be some of them who are impulsive. There are no impulsive shinobi in Anbu department. After all, if they are impulsive, they not only bring danger to themselves but also to their entire team, or even the entire Anbu department. This is absolutely not allowed. Therefore, people who are impulsive and brainless cannot enter Anbu. The 3 guarding shinobi quickly lead Kakashi's group to the conference room, and there have been more than a dozen shinobi waiting there. Kakashi took a closer look, and see the leader eyes are pure white. It was the Byakugan of the Hyuga clan. It seems that he is Hyuga clan's branch house member. It is not surprising for Kakashi to see a Hyuga clan's member in this place. After all, Hyuga clan is one of the best scouts in Konoha. It's impossible for Hyuga clan's main house member to be here. The reason is very simple. It is too dangerous here. If the Land of Lighting launches an attack, this place will bear the brunt of it, and this place may be destroyed. The Hyuga clan won't let main house member to take the risk. This is the Hyuga Tobio, he is the captain here. The middle-aged shinobi said as he pointing toward the Hyuga clan's member. Rado then nodded and said, "Hello Tobio Dono, we are in the Hokage-sama, Anbu. We're here to transport some supplies, at the same time we also need to bring the latest information back to Konoha. I hope Tobio Dono can help us about this." Hyuga Tobio then looked at these 4. It's strange, he did not expect Sandaime to send such a young team to bring back the information. The oldest one may not be more than 17 years old. Is it really okay for such a team to bring back the information? This little brother, did Sandaime-sama only send you 4 here? Yes. Although Rado did not understand why the Hyuga Tobio asked this question, he still replied very sincerely. Little brother, the information this time is very important. It's not that I don't believe in your strength, but I am really afraid there will be some trouble on the way back. So I will send 2 people to go back with you. Hyuga Tobio is not at ease if only this young team go, so he decided to send 2 Jonin to follow them back and to protect them. And having 2 less Jonin here will not have much impact. However, the good intentions of the Hyuga Tobio are obviously unacceptable, at least for Genma and Rado. Both of them are still young, and at the same time they were also scouted by the Yondaime Hokage. Although they are young, They still have their own pride. Although Hyuga Tobio did not say that he looks down on them, the arrangement he made was obviously because he didn't believe in their strength. This makes both the same and the mysterious. Tobio-san, please believe in our strength, we will be able to send the information back to Konoha safely. Rado said as people could hear some dissatisfaction in his tone. This, Hyuga Tobio hesitated, he was really afraid that there could be accident happen. How about this, if you can beat that man, I will let you transport the information by yourself. Rado and the others' eyes then looked at the man pointed by the Hyuga Tobio. They see the man has burly figure, wearing a dark red clothes, and also wearing Konoha's green vest. But most importantly, there is a kanji that means, food, on his clothes. He is an Akamichi clan's member.